Now the worsening supply shortages, which are threatening to put a damper on holiday shopping and the lives of consumers worldwide. The impact being felt by both big box retailers and small businesses. Here's ABC's Deirdre Bolton.
Tonight, record shipping backlogs sparking shortages of cars, clothing, and electronics, with the holiday shopping season right around the corner.
The level of uncertainty is really unprecedented.
Billions of dollars of goods floating in limbo. Dozens of cargo ships now stuck off the ports in Los Angeles and New York, with wait times to dock stretching up to 3 weeks. Struggling to keep up with surging demand, the global supply chain rocked by COVID-19 disruptions, causing a lack of workers.
There are shortages across a number of industries, perhaps nowhere more acutely so than in frontline workers such as port workers and truck drivers.
Much like the start of the pandemic, Costco once again limiting purchases of toilet paper and paper towels. Making matters worse, COVID outbreaks shutting down factories in Southeast Asia, cutting production. Half of Nike's clothing factories in Vietnam forced to close. Under Armour and Apple also feeling the pinch. And it's not just big corporations.
If you see something you like, go ahead and buy it.
George Jones owns a toy store in Alabama, urging people to start shopping soon.
Yes, you can see it online, but if you you're going to give them your money and you give them your credit card, when are you going to receive that merchandise? It may be too late.
Experts say Americans may feel the pain of supply chain problems through the new year and beyond. Whit?
All right, we will plan ahead, Deirdre. Thank you.
A race against time. Authorities frantically working to slow the spread of a major oil spill. A pipeline off the coast of Orange County in Southern California dumping 126,000 gallons of oil into the Pacific, spanning 13 square miles.
We are in the midst of a potential ecological disaster here.
The leak began Saturday. The pipeline company says the line has been shut down, but they do not know what caused it to fail.
We currently have divers on location at the potential source site. We are investigating the source and potential cause.
A major concern, wildlife. Toxic globs washing ashore and infiltrating treasured wetlands.
We've already received reports of many animals being covered in oil.
Health officials warning it could be harmful to humans, too. The goopy mess, a stain to Southern California's typically pristine beaches. But what you can't see, the awful smell. It will give you a headache in minutes. The area seeing an influx of visitors because of the iconic Pacific Air Show, which was canceled for today. Many now passing time at area beaches, despite calls to avoid the sand and the sea. People are in the water. Does that concern you?
It does concern me. The toxic fumes are present in the air and it might be impactful to your health.
Tonight, an ecological nightmare growing with each wave.
Emily, the video is incredibly disturbing. What's the latest on the efforts to save the wildlife there?
Well, Kristen, you can see here, this is the oily goop animals are up against. Just in this pool here, numerous fish trapped beneath the oil-coated surface. And this is just a tiny fraction of the miles of beach impacted. Kristen?
Shalom. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. This lesson is going to be entitled Supply Shortages and an Oil Spill. Okay? And that's some of the things that's going on in the news right now. You saw the first report, right? Record shipping backlogs. You got vessels stuck at sea and they're not able to bring in the supplies. And this could very well trigger a famine. At the very least, right now, people are irritated. All right, as you see, it says supply shortages may hamper holiday shopping season, which is good. It's good for the inhabitants of Babylon. We're glad. You know, Lord willing, this snowballs into something greater or worse, depending on how you look at it. And then you had the doggone oil spill over there in California. Environmental catastrophe from oil spill off California. That, you know, and this is just another one of the many things that one of the many oil spills you've seen, man. 126,000 gallons of oil. And you saw the videos. I'm not going to talk it to death, but you saw the video, this one and the other one. And this oil spill is nasty as hell, man. But it just goes to show you that damn Esau going to continue to fuck up the planet. Now, let's go real quick and bring a few scriptures out on that. Let's first grab. I want to grab concerning this Revelation verse 11 and Revelation chapter 11, verse 18. And it says, the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. So who are the ones that's destroying the planet? The ones that are in authority, the ones that are in power. They're the ones that's going to be charged with destroying the planet, because they're in authority, they're in charge. The earth was given into the hand of the wicked, and he's destroying the earth, with his different things. He's destroying the seas, the land, the air. He's doing it all. You got chemtrails in the air, oil spills, plastic in the seas, right? He's doing other things on the ground. And now they're trying to destroy you, filling you with poison. Everything is poisonous in Babylon the Great these days. The Most High is going to allow this place to get took out, through different destructions. But this right here, this environmental catastrophe, it should never happen, man. It's having an effect on everything. It's having an effect on the water, on the animals, even on the sand. So what's the Most High saying? Should destroy them which destroy the earth. The ones that destroy the earth are going to be destroyed. Let's see here. All the foundations. Let's grab this. This is Psalms 82, verse 4. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. You see this in this psalm? The poor and needy, which are the Israelites, need to be delivered out of the hand of the wicked. The wicked is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. As you probably have heard, different freaky weather patterns going on, right? You got the environmental catastrophes and different things like that. Okay, it's clearly shown when you look around in the earth. Now I want to read Isaiah 24, and let's go into this a little bit. This is I started 24:3. It says, the land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for the Lord has spoken this word. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. And that's the haughty people, the proud. They're going to languish. When you languish, you're in mourning. It says the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. What does the word defiled mean? The earth is also defiled. Let's see here. We get a definition. To be profaned, be defiled, be polluted. See that? Be polluted. Who is it polluting the earth? Damn Esau, Edom, the so-called white man right here. Contaminated with oil, with chemtrails. See it? Contaminated with harmful or poisonous substances. Wow. Down here, contaminate water, air, or a place with harmful or poisonous substances. Defile or corrupt. And that's this devil. Defiling and corrupting, making everything polluted. To be profane, be defiled, be polluted, be corrupt. To be polluted, to be profane, be godless. And that's another thing. He's affecting the earth with wickedness. He's making people become godless. To pollute, to make profane, make godless, cause to be defiled. Not only will he destroy you or destroy himself, he'll destroy himself also, and you and the earth, everything around him. What did the apes say? Beware the beast man, for he will make a desert of both his home and yours. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Now you may say, we're all inhabitants because we inhabit the earth. But listen, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. How did they change the ordinance? Everybody can't change the ordinances. I don't have a power to change the ordinance to make the holy day, if I say Saturday and Sunday, and make everybody deal with it. I don't have the power to say what time, time springing forward or time is going back. The so-called white man does. He has the power to change the ordinances. So this is who it's speaking of. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. You see? Now, if you think about it, when you deal with either one of these stories, right? The supply shortages and the oil spill, both of these things happen in the seas, right? Now, the scripture tells you that there's a dragon in the sea. Let's go there. Isaiah 27. It says, in that day the Lord, with his sore and great and strong sword, will punish Leviathan, the piercing serpent, even Leviathan, that crooked serpent, and he shall slay the dragon that is in the sea. Who is this talking about? It's not talking about a literal dragon. It's talking about that old devil called that old serpent called the devil and Satan. Let's see here. Old serpent. That piercing serpent that's in the sea, fucking up the planet, telling everybody what they can do with their natural resources. It says Revelation 12:9, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And that's speaking of what? The so-called white man being cast down from his heavenly status. You see? Because he's the accuser of the brethren. And that great war in heaven, see, it says it right here. It says the angel Michael. Right? Revelation 12:7, there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought his angels. That's talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Because when you go to Revelation 19, it describes some of the war in heaven, and it wasn't involving angels and demons. Revelation 19:19, and I saw the beast, which the beast is what? NATO and the EU. The great red dragon, the Roman Empire. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth, NATO, the EU, and America, Babylon the Great, all together, united, what do they call themselves? Dang on it. NATO. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. See? The beast and kings of the earth. So it's different men that are on the earth. And they're the ones that's fucking up the planet, man. I mean, we're mainly Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, that beast. But over here, particularly in Babylon the Great, they're in the seas telling everybody what they can do with their trade, messing with the trade routes. On the other hand, they're over here making an oil spill. And they do that a lot. Different oil spills around around the world. They're defiling the earth. As we read in Isaiah 24, they're defiling the earth. And before we do that, we'll close out with that. Let's read here 2 Ezra chapter 6, right? And verse 22 around about. Yeah, we'll start at 20. And when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens, these signs. The book shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. Are not the books open before the firmament? That's speaking of the Holy Bible, right? The book is open before the firmament, and everybody's seeing it on the whole planet. And the children of a year old shall speak with their voices. The women with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old, and they shall live and be raised up. This is what I want to get. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And that's what you see with these shipping, with these supply shortages. That's what it's going to bring about. If the supplies would have stopped coming, that would bring about a famine. Okay. And all they're doing is just doing test runs, just doing different stuff, trying to make the people afraid. Now in the holiday season, they play games. These elites, they play games with you. Right? Since people didn't want to go back to work and you want to do this, you want to do that, and the pandemic and all this, they're going to mess with you. They're going to say now, since there's less money to be spent, now there's going to be less products to be had, and people have money. So all it's going to do is create a panic of some sort. Create a panic, shortages here and there, different things. You just never know what's going to happen with these devils, but that's why you got to be involved in this word. So that way you don't be worried about nothing, because we know the Most High going to feed his elect. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. the 4 storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. That's right. And that which represents a famine. You see? And the Most High has promised in the Bible that he's going to send forth that famine at some point. Now, when you go, I'll tell you what, let's read that first. Ezekiel 14 and 13, it says, Son of man, when the land sinneth against me by trespassing grievously, then will I stretch out mine hand upon it and will break the staff of the bread thereof and will send famine upon it and will cut off man and beast from it. Though these 3 men, Noah, Daniel, and Job, were in it, they should deliver but their own souls by their righteousness, said the Lord power. The Most High mentioned right here. If he sent a famine in the land, he's only going to protect Noah, Daniel, and Job, which represents his elect. If I cause noisome beasts to pass through the land, and they spoil it so that it be desolate, that no man may pass through because of the beast, though these 3 men were in it, as I live, saith the Lord power, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughters, they only shall be delivered, but the land shall be desolate. Or if I bring a sword upon that land and say, sword, go through the land, so that I cut off man and beast from it, though these 3 men were in it, as I live, saith the Lord, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughters, but they only shall be delivered. Or if I send a pestilence into that land and pour out my fury upon it in blood, to cut off from it man and beast, though Noah, Daniel, and Job were in it, as I live, saith the Lord power, they shall deliver neither son nor daughter, they shall but deliver their own souls by their righteousness. And that's what it's all about. Trying to follow the ways of the Most High to the best of your ability so that you can be found righteous, because these judgments are coming. And everything you see in the news, it could be a part of that judgment ramping up, whether it's true or fake, whether it's manufactured. When I say fake, I mean it actually happened, but it may not happen in the manner in which they said it. It could be a manufactured famine, but still, the Most High controls these devils, and he through the spiritual demon Satan. For thus saith the Lord power, how much more when I send my 4 judgments upon Jerusalem, the sword and the famine and the noisome beast and the pestilence, to cut off from it man and beast. Yet behold, therein shall be left a remnant that shall be brought forth, both sons and daughters. Behold, they shall come forth unto you, and ye shall see their way and their doings, and ye shall be comforted concerning the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem, even concerning all that I have brought upon it. So you see, the Most High he's going to always have a remnant. And they shall comfort you when ye see their ways and their doings, and ye shall know that I have not done without cause all that I have done in it, saith the Lord power. So although the Most High is going to bring his sword judgments, which could be famine, right? Pollution, other things going on. Because, let's face it, people still going to the beach, even though there's oil spills. They didn't give a damn. So if you was to go out there, and get in the water and then get covered in oil or something happened to you, then that's the judgment of the Lord. Major oil spill closes California beaches and endangers wildlife. And like we told you, that damn dragon that's in the sea is Esau Edom, the so-called white man, Leviathan, that crooked piercing serpent. He's going, one way or another, this man is always involved. You see a person right there on the damn surfboard right there next to an oil slick. And they talked about toxic fumes, different things going on. When you got oil in the sea, you can light that shit on fire. The water can actually be on fire. So there's no telling what the Lord might bring, what he might do. And this is that damn dragon that's in the sea. When you read Revelation 18, let's see here. When you go into it, it says Revelation 18, and this place is going to burn. Revelation 18 and 9, it says, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. This place is going to be on fire, and people are going to be able to see it. Standing afar off of the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. That's how this place is established, through its trade by the seas. And it's the dragon that's in the sea. The dragon that's in the sea. Esau Edom, the so-called white man, controlling all the key major shipping routes, controlling the seas. That's why when people buck up against, NATO or America, Babylon the Great in general, what do? They put a blockade on them. They sanction them so they can only get certain products. But now you got record shipping backlogs that you hear right here. So we're going to see what's going to come of it. But it's showing you clearly that the main merchant city on the earth It's Babylon the Great. It says the merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all fine wood and all manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. See, this place is heavily involved in trade, even going back to slavery, even before that. Heavily involved in the maritime trade. If you look going to the word maritime, it's dealing with the seas. And the fruits of thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city? You see it? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour is she made desolate. That's what's going to happen. This place is going to be made desolate. But for the Israelites' sake, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High hath avenged you on her. So the Lord is going to avenge us. So when you see things like these, shipping backlogs, shortages, oil spills, other things, earthquakes, volcanoes popping loose, we get excited because the Most High is preparing to judge Babylon the Great. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. So we are awaiting the coming judgment of Babylon the Great. I would imagine, and this has happened before, they're going to say you got vessels that's stuck at sea, or they ain't delivering the products and the goods. Then the truck drivers, when they finally do deliver it, the truck drivers don't want to deliver it, whatever. You're going to have these murmurings and these skirmishes, and then they probably get straightened out. But eventually, one day, they ain't going to be able to straighten it out. Yeah, as I was saying, one of these days, they're not going to be able to straighten it out. Shit going to go down for good, just like with the internet. And we'll probably touch on that. If you saw what it said right there, let's see if we can get it to go back. Limited purchases on paper towels, toilet paper and paper towels, right? What else? It's going to give you something else. You see over there in Southwest Asia, half of Vietnam factories forced to close. It got a lot to do with Nike. iPhone production is down. All kind of stuff, man. So, as the brothers was speaking about it in Camp Saturday, the Phoenix brothers was going into it some. Hey, it's exciting stuff, man. Exciting stuff. But you can't get too over the moon about it. Just glad that you people are experiencing some hell, some heartache. But we can't get too over the moon about it. Because this is just the beginning. This is the beginning of sorrows. Let's get this. So back in Revelation 18 and 21, it says, And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. Right. This place is going to be destroyed. And the great millstone represents the nuclear missiles. And the voice of harpers and musicians and of pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee, and no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee, and the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee, and the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. One form of sorcery or another, right? Going from philosophies to drug use to just downright sorceries, witchcraft. But when you go into that word sorceries right there, it particularly speaks to a certain thing, which we didn't really deal with in this video, but we still go there for the sake of looking up the word.
Strong's G 5331. Pharmakia.
Pharmakia. The use of or the administering of drugs, right? It says poisoning. Sorcery, magical arts often found in connection with idolatry and fostered by it. metaphor, the deceptions and seductions of idolatry, which Babylon the Great exhibits all those qualities. It does all those things. This guy is dealing with the drugs, right? The opiates. And then when you deal with the poison, and they poisoning the people. Those are chemtrails of poison. The GMO foods are poison. Different things. You know, they putting mercury and fluoride and different shit in the water. It says sorcery, magical arts, hey, all that, it going to the religions, the philosophies, and the witchcraft. Metaphor, the deceptions and seductions of idolatry. And it said all nations have drunk of the wine of this place. They're pushing white Jesus all over the globe. When you go down here, it says medication, pharmacy, talking about the illicit drugs. Not all medicine, but for the most part, those damn narcotics and opiates. Medication, pharmacy, i.e. by extension, magic, sorcery, witchcraft. And we've been through that. So this place is wicked. It's got to be judged, right? And we're going to just end the lesson right there abruptly, because this has been supply shortages in an oil slick or oil spill. We can't forget about that. Fucking up the whole planet, man. But hey, it's just an update. We'll see you again soon with another lesson, Lord willing. All right. You should be lifted up, because this place is going through some serious times, but it's only going to get worse. We'll see you again soon, Lord willing, with another lesson. All praise to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.